So here is Nodin, my Mustang Classic makeover horse, and this is day 22, and working further with saddling, and today I'm going to work with just the jump saddle. You may have seen the ones previous where I worked him with the Western saddle. Oftentimes I have people ask me of why I use a Western saddle, especially when I have ones that are a bit more nervous. The Western saddle is pretty helpful. It's a little bit heavier, so it gets them used to carrying weight, and it's got lots of like jingly make sounds. So I think it's really good prep work in the beginning, and also it can depend on the horse and their back and their saddle fit and all those things. But today I thought it would be good for him to have a change of pace and to do the jump saddle. And so I'm just checking the fit. And again, I'm going to put the saddle pad back on. I'm just going to give him a second here. And I think it's always good to have them kind of walk around, move around in the bit. Because again, sometimes he can have a little bit of worry. So just really trying to build a good foundation for him of gaining relaxation. And the jump saddle is way lighter than the Western saddle, especially with him being a bit taller. But again, for him, I felt it was important, and I think it is important to go through kind of all the steps. Sometimes when I have horses that have no worry, they don't really mind. You don't have to spend too much time on this part. You know, they take the saddle and onwards they go. But he's had some where I feel like he has some worry, and so that's where I've worked on spending a lot of time with him with that. So just going through girth and up. So I sped this up for you guys, but he was seeming to be very good. So I was pretty happy with that, and then asking him to walk off after he was girthed up. That's looking really nice and relaxed. Then I'm going to give him a good rub, and we're going to work on moving forward. Again, I always like to have my horses start at a walk first. Sometimes if you have a little bit more of a goey horse and as soon as you put them on a circle, they're going. So he had a little bit of a balk there. But it's really good to get them in the discipline of walking and then trotting and really building that on your voice cues. Yeah, so he seems to be handling the jump saddle pretty good. You see I have the stirrups up. I don't have them down yet. And he goes into the canter pretty nicely. And I really do like his canter. That was probably one of the things that I picked him for when I saw him come off the truck, was his canter. So that was a very good. It was going to the left, which if you guys remember, going to the left is where he had his little bit of a blow up, but it can be either lead. So just working on now, dropping down the stirrups to give him a little bit of different kind of pressure on each side of his body. I'm going to make a little bit of sound. You can't really see what I'm doing because I'm on the offside. Just doing things in increments for him has just really helped his mind. And then this is a really nice trot. And I'm going to ask for the canter, so I use my right hand, my voice. He's doing that actually pretty well. And getting a nice canter on the right lead. And what I really like is he's really starting to figure out the voice cues. And he was totally fine with the stirrups kind of bumping around. So I'm just going to come over, wiggle the saddle, make some sounds. Making sure his girth is tight, all those things. And it's also good to kind of have these moments because it gives them a little bit of time to stop moving. Making sure there's those periods of thinking are really good. And then I'm going to go through here as well, just getting a little bit of softening on the halter, getting him to come around through his neck. He was very good for. And again, just softly following the pressure of the halter. And I was pretty happy with that, so I'm going to give him a reward. And I'm adding, when I was doing that, I was putting a little bit of pressure of where my leg would go, as well as having him follow with the halter a little bit. So kind of simulating if I was on him, I could put that leg on and to get a little bit of that bend. And now I'm going to do the same on the left. She's very nicely following the halter. And any type of try I'm going to release to. And again, kind of coiling your rope, taking that time is always a good thing for them. So now I'm going to work on having a little bit of pressure of, again, where my leg would go and getting him to have that nice flexion through his body. And anytime he starts to move the rib cage away a little bit, then I can soften the hand. But again, it's just some good prep work for having my leg on and having that softening, because when I get on, you want the horse to kind of follow, or at least I do. In going to the left, I don't like it when, if they get nervous and I'm working on getting on, they turn their head the opposite way, because that can, if they get scared, that can send hind feet coming at you. So working on laying down that good little bit of foundation work. And I was really, really pleased with him. I thought that was great and kept the session nice and short. And a nice positive day for Nodin.